Yeah, okay. Nah, I know a lot of people have been saying that, like, they're still being able to be productive, like, at home.
Oh yeah, definitely. It took a couple of weeks, but after that, it was coasting through it now.
It took me a while to that adjust. At first, I was like, I was enjoying it, but it's a bit weird because I was in Jamaica, so I was with like bare people. It was like my uncle's 60th. There was like loads of us there, and we was all together in a hotel for a week, like 90 something of us. Then it went straight to like, got back home late March. It was like complete lockdown. So that was weird, but I'm kind of like homebody anyway, you know me. I wasn't like dying to get out and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't know it would be so long. But when things started cancelling all like shows and festivals, and I said, okay, this is something real, and you just got to adjust that mind, innit? It takes a little mindset adjustment to kind of deal with it and say this is what it is, kind of thing.
We're saying after this, you're just gonna be out here.
I don't know. It's like, it's a mad one because it wasn't as frustrating for me as it must have been other people because I got all my shit out of the way. You know what I mean? And I told him Remember, I told him February, we locked down in March. So if I like had a fucking tour planned in April or something, I'll be pissed. You know what I mean? And still feel like, I still haven't got to do what I want to do. But yeah, I kind of done all that. So I wasn't really ready to go into work mode. I was going to come back from holiday, kind of go into pre-production of Top Boy, and then probably start reading scripts, and then start shooting, and then do a festival here and there, and then go back to shooting. But obviously all of that, long, bro. Long.
Yeah, no. We could have done with Top Boy right now, but obviously it wasn't even going to be out now. You're just going to be shooting it now.
But anyway, Posty, what you saying, man? How's it going?
I'm all good, brother. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm talking to some people that come from Newham and do various things, and just really wanted to catch up with you. Hear a little bit about your story, and you know what I mean. I think there's definitely some inspiration in it, and why I wanted to talk to you specifically, and we'll get into it, is like, I'm sure there's loads of people out there, especially young people out there, that kind of love music, but like rapping might not necessarily be for them. But there's loads of different avenues where you could get into the music industry without actually being the front man, you know what I mean? And I think you've done that personally and helped others as well. So we'll get to that. But firstly, what was it like growing up where you're from, and what does it mean to you?
Yeah, well, my Newham story might be a little bit different to everyone else's. So I was actually born in England, but then I lived in Ghana till I was 12. Mm-hmm. So then when I came back, like I moved into my auntie's house in Custom House. Me and my family all kind of lived in a living room for like a year or so. And then after a while, we moved to Gresham Road, which is just off Prince Regent Lane in Custom House again. I lived there for about 5 years, but my mum was adamant that she wanted me to like school elsewhere. So I had to get 5 buses. I went to the same school as Devlin. So I had to get 5 buses from Newham to Hornchurch every day. I had to get a bus from Canning Town to Beckton, then to Barking, and it was long. It was a long experience, but that's where I lived. I moved around again for a little bit, and then I used to hang around in this area called Cliff Walk, which is just off Hermit Road. Where you go to, just the rap. When I used to rap and stuff as well, I used to shoot my videos there, like Southern, shoot my videos in Southern as well, the chicken shop, whatever. Yeah, I used to go to the Shipman Youth Centre, which is on Prince Regent Lane as well. And yeah, that's where my friends are from. That's where I kind of grew up.
You said youth centre. Did you ever go Community Links? I used to be around there sometime.
Yeah. I think everyone from Newham's kind of gone to Community Links once or twice or loads of times. But I used to more go to this place called Shipman Youth Centre. It's on Prince Regent Lane. Like once you drive on the A13 and you take the left, like you're going towards Beckton or whatever. Yeah. It's on the right, just opposite where the shops are and all that, you know what I mean? I don't think a lot of people went there, but I did like a lot of like youth activities there when I was growing up.
Do you know who used to run those kind of places? Do you know what's mad? Like, As I'm speaking to people, like when I look back, those things were so beneficial, and we didn't really know at the time like what, you know, the people that ran those kind of facilities were sacrificing. You know what I mean? I'm sure they could have been fucking somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like I had a teacher that used to open up the school sports gym every day in the 6 weeks holidays. So we used to go there and just play like indoor football and whatever. And I'm sure he could have been going on holiday or whatever, but you know, the sacrifice that those people made just to give youth an opportunity was like so important. And I think it's like, it don't happen as much now. I was talking to Getz about Beckton Globe and all those kind of things where we used to go, but that stuff's so important, man. And I think we need to maybe bring a little bit of that back, you know?
No, definitely. I loved it, man. Because especially for me, like coming from like another country or whatever, and it was just a nice place to like socialize with people, like form the person, because I knew the person who I was, where I was coming from, but then also I had to become a new person because of my new surroundings. You get what I'm trying to say? And those kind of things really helped me build up my character and like the type of person that I was, you know what I'm trying to say? So they were very instrumental in my development, I would say, you know?
Was it a predominantly white school that you went to?
Yeah, definitely a predominantly white school.
How was that coming, you know what I mean, coming back to England? You know, you're in a black country and you're coming back to England and going to a predominantly white school. What was that like?
I think, to be honest, like I hated it. I hated such a drastic change then, because it was kind of like initially out of my comfort zone, because I hadn't been around that kind of dynamic before. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But looking back on it and kind of looking back on the person I am today, I feel like being put outside my comfort zone so early on in my development allowed me to be able to operate in different kind of circumstances which I'm in today. So I don't go into any room and feel like I shouldn't be there, or I don't know how to communicate with this type of person, or do you know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, it was definitely out of my comfort zone, but after a while, I had the pleasure of having the best of both worlds. So being in Custom House, for example, when my surroundings and my friendship groups or whatever the case may be, but then also going to school elsewhere and a whole different kind of culture. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But then taking as much as I could from each and just understanding as much as I could about my new environments. You know what I'm saying?
Where did the love of like music come into play? Was that while you say you was in Ghana, right?
Yeah.
Was it then, and was you listening to music then, and was it African music or American music, or was it when you came back to England you kind of, you know, discovered music?
No, when I was in school, we just used to listen to bare Biggie, like Nas, Jay-Z.
In school in England or in school in Ghana?
In Ghana.
Yeah.
And then when I came to, and then when I was in school in England, that kind of just also took its natural course. Like I started listening to, still like getting all the Jay-Z albums, the Biggie albums, the Nas albums, all of that kind of stuff. And then I think like between like year 7 and year 9, it was more like people like spitting over like jungle beats and all that kind of stuff. You know, remember that beat Chopper?
Yeah. Helicopter.
People started talking about MCing, and it hadn't actually quite developed into what it is today, or what it was when people started doing like quote unquote grime, if you would say. So then I would listen. I heard So Solid, dope. I was like in love with So Solid. I bought all their CDs, whatever. Then followed Pay As You Go, whatever. And then it was realistically only till I heard you, and then Getz, and then a few other people, where I was like proper like into it. Because when I heard you, for example, you was rapping, it was like you was rapping more technically than I was accustomed to. Shout out Dizzy as well. But you was rapping more technically than I was accustomed to. So then when I heard that, I was like trying to show all my friends, yo, there's this whole new thing. Like, it's going to be crazy. Like, because I hadn't heard that before, like, especially like with the metaphors you were using and the storytelling, and like, do you get what I'm trying to say? It was like we finally found like somebody from the UK who could actually paint these pictures and speak this certain type of way. And why I rate you as well is because there was no precedent for a Kano. Does that make any sense? It's not like you had watched like a different MC from here do what you was doing before. Like you was doing your own thing, and it was like a brand new sound. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I really started getting into it. And then obviously after that, then Gets is doing all sick stuff, Rich, Boy Better Know, all of that. And then after that, I was in, like, fully in. I just decided this is what I'm going to do.
This is what you're gonna do, as in you wanted to continue making music, or what point did that switch to, okay, this is the role I want to play? And I know you're probably hearing us from 2003-ish, and you know what I mean, my first album came out 2005. You created Grime Daily 2009, right? So around the time you're speaking about, was that more about wanting to participate in making music or getting involved in a different way?
Nah, so during your era, you know, I was listening to you and I thought, yeah, he's all right, but I could be better than this. So I was kind of I thought, yeah, man. He's only from down the road, you know what I'm saying? We could practice and take his spot, you know what I'm saying? So I was like doing music as well, to be honest. And then I did music for a while, and then I was all right, like people liked me and all that. But then I kind of got to the point for me where I was like, if I had a fight with somebody, yeah, if I was writing a lyric, I'm like talking about bare guns, or if I like it's bare elaboration, like bare of it. So and like because those were the surroundings, but then you just have to elaborate bare. And I just thought, you know what, like from when I was like 20, I was like, I just felt uncomfortable with it. I thought, you know what, let me just try and do something else, you know what I mean? Because I can't be bothered, you know what I'm saying? So then when you do that stuff, like these things are not actually far from your circumstances. So you kind of create your own world by just doing that, because it's like you're saying it, the people are just there. So it's all like, yeah, come on. And then it just becomes reality, you know what I'm saying? So I just couldn't be bothered to do that. So then I just was like a huge fan of like UK music. And I was just like waiting for someone to build a world star, you know what I'm saying? Because all me and my friends was addicted to world star. We go in there like 6-7 times a day, and no one was doing it. And I thought, you know what? Let me just try it. So I tried, and luckily there was such a gap in the market for something of the sort that it just worked. So every time I met somebody, they refer me to somebody else, and then that's when I got into like the music business.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, who were your inspirations more on a media level and a business level? You know what I mean? Was World Star like the top of that list? Was it Q, his name was?
But to be honest, I didn't even know who Q was. I just knew what World Star was, and I thought, you know what, the DVDs are done. Like there wasn't no DVDs coming out. And see me, what I realized is I love content. I've been absorbing content since like I was young. So I knew that somebody had to come out and build content. That's what would take us to the next level, you know what I mean? And obviously I watch Channel U all the time, which was like a great platform, but with Channel U, there was a lack of choice. You know what I mean? You had to watch it and hope that the video that you want to watch is coming.
Yeah, you get what you're given.
I kind of realized that from early on, and that's what I wanted to do. But my inspirations business-wise, yeah, probably like maybe, I don't know, like whoever was running it at the time, like maybe like Rewind, or like, you know what I mean? Like people that were actually contributing to the culture, like Rewind, maybe One Extra. Sometimes you might go in there, catch a little clip once every 6 months. That's like a UK thing. That's like dope. Tim and Barry, Jamal, you know what I mean? He was filming very early on as well. So, but no one was a business yet. No one was actually a business yet. That's why we came with that business approach.
That, you know, entrepreneurial spirit, I don't know whether you acknowledge that that was clearly what you had back then, or you was more freestyling, going with the flow. But looking back, where do you think that came from in you? You know what I mean? Was that instilled from family, or was that you had uncle that was a businessman, or did it just, was it you?
Nah, just obviously just after I kind of turned 16, I was just always on trying to make money somehow. Do you know what I mean? So like I tried so many different things to make money, and I had a plan of, I've always been entrepreneurial. I was like one of the first people to get a job, drive. Like I've always trying to be like with the times, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's where it really came from, and just like wanting to like make something of myself. Like I always knew I want to be like something. I wasn't gonna try and be average or like, do you know what I'm trying to say? I always knew I'm gonna do something that's like super worthwhile. And I think that came from like my upbringing and being able to communicate, and like knowing that, you know, like when you walk in a room full of people or whatever, you can talk to this person. You get a feel of what's going on, and you get a feel of where you can add value to something. Or, and I always feel like I add value to whatever situation I'm in. Otherwise, I won't be in that place. And I think that that's where that kind of entrepreneurial spirit came from. So I won't waste time somewhere I'm not going to be valuable. I'll spend my time somewhere where I'm going to be valuable, and I'm going to be the best at that value I'm creating over there.
Yeah, well, we grew up in a place where you constantly have to, you know, assess your environment, and you know what I mean, and really be, you know, I guess aware of your surroundings, aware of yourself, and knowing how to speak to people, because anything wrong can just turn left. So it's about communication, you know. But what else about growing up where we did kind of prepared you for the business world, the industry? Was it a fearlessness, or I don't know, or did you think being from where you are from was ever going to hold you back in certain rooms that you might find yourself in?
Nah, to be honest, to be honest, I feel like that just made me stronger, because I know, because East London is just such a pool of talent that came from there. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's not like, and I'm talking about the time of which I started my business. Like you're talking about Wiley, Kano, Getz, Newham Generals, Kalashnikov,
Lethal.
like lethal, like everyone. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So like obviously now like every area's got such a pool of like sick, amazing talent. But then it was like that's where it was at. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's where my playground was. So I was feeling more than confident, because it's not like, you know what I'm saying, everyone here was like a rap from here. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I didn't feel like I was about to break some weird new boundary or whatever. So that gave me confidence to be able to do what I wanted to do, to be honest with you. And yeah, it gave me a bit of fearlessness. And I actually don't come from anything, because I'm first generation in this country from my family.
In the field and the genre that you was kind of you know, I guess specifying in, why would you feel that? You know what I mean? It's like being a rapper and you're from Brooklyn. I'm sure you'd be like, yeah, I'm from Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Knowing that Biggie's come from there and Jigga's come from there and Mos Def's come from, like, you know what I mean? That the history, you know, we kind of feel, you know, so much pride and so confident about where we're from, because we know what we've created before, you know. But what I also want to ask is not just about being where you're from, but being like a young black owned business in England. Have you ever felt that, I don't know, what kind of struggles have you faced just moving through the industry and just growing your company?
Nice. It's been, we face a lot of difficulties, but with life we face difficulties in everything that you do, you know what I'm saying? But for us, it was like, even when we first came around, it was like there was like a whole other industry, and we wasn't like deemed as the industry yet. Does that make any sense? Whereas like as soon as I uploaded my first video and I filmed my first NMCs, like top tier rappers and that, and like this is like breaking boundaries and like getting the most amount of traction, and like 6 months in, the independent newspaper put us in their top 20 music websites or whatever. It's still like we had no support really from the industry, so as in like the corporates, the buildings, B labels. And to be fair, at the time, our music wasn't really popping like that. It was, but there wasn't that many Kanos or Dizzies or Stride. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That period of time. So it took a while. Other difficulties probably are just like in terms of like assistance when we want to kind of do stuff, you know what I mean? In terms of brands, sponsorship, like agencies in the way that don't need to be there, just come straight to the plug. It's taken a long time for us to be considered serious about what we do, our business, our professionalism. We actually care about what we're doing here. There's been a lot of struggles with that, and especially we've had like struggles with authorities and stuff like that, just in terms of like if we want to put something on or if we want to do something, there's always kind of like a negative stigma attached to it.
You got to jump through so many hoops that most people would be like, oh, do you know what, forget about it then.
So many of those all the time, and it's like sometimes when people present you with a problem, okay, you can't do something because of this. You're just giving me a problem, but you're not giving me a solution. It's a difficult thing to work in that type of climate, but at the same time, I enjoy it because every time they think we can't do something, we'll do it again, and hopefully we make it a lot more easier for the next entrepreneurs, the next up and coming people.
Yeah, 100%. You know, when you talk about like not really being embraced by what you call the other industry, what people would have called the industry, and you was on the side. I feel like a lot of young artists, for years now, probably also feel the same, that they wasn't embraced by that industry, and you became their industry, you became their platform. What made you want to allow those young artists to have a voice, and what made you want to support them and see them succeed?
I just think, to be honest, I just think that that's the reason I got in the job, and that's the reason why I'm still in the job. And it is to be able to create opportunity and give people a platform that no one else was given to them. Being able to be somebody that helps propel something great is the most important thing to me. So, and my business and my team and the people that we work with. And like I said, it all really just stemmed from the fact that, I love UK music so much. And I thought, why does everyone not love it like this? Because I grew up somewhere else in a different country and came here. It was difficult for me to understand why American music is the biggest thing in America and French music is the biggest thing in France. It's like, I'm listening to all the stuff that's coming out, and I'm thinking, yo, like, what's going on? Do you get what I'm saying? That was like my driving force. Now I can't get away from it. I hear someone playing like a video from my channel in the car, driving past my house, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on around here? Like, it's everywhere. Like, girls are listening to it, boys are everywhere. It's like national, and that was like my biggest goal, to be able to contribute to that is like the biggest thing that I feel like I've accomplished in my lifetime, and I'm happy with saying I contributed to that, and that makes me happy. And so did all the amazing artists and the amazing A&Rs and the amazing, everyone that's like kind of grown up in our country, the same culture as us, the same background as us, that have all contributed to like creating something for us.
Yeah, I feel that, and it's cool, man, and people appreciate that. And most people that run companies and these platforms, you can't speak to. You know what I mean? You're accessible to a certain point, and you work with us. You started the award show. What was that about? Was that just about raising it to the next level? And I don't know, what was that about for you?
For me, it's always been about doing things that everyone else has, and it's like a given to them, but we don't have. And it was like, I really, really, really respect the Mugos, and I think that they operated very well in a time where there wasn't like as much to offer, but then I feel like with the rise of like the UK music, like we're topping now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's time to, and like I say, I must say I do respect the mothers, and I respect the people that anyone from our culture or our background that's created something for themselves and done something for themselves and done something. I think it's very easy to like criticize people or whatever, but I just felt like as a kid or whatever, I'd be watching like, not just with them, but like even at the Brits or at this or at that. And it's like I'm watching Best Male and you might not be there enough or you might not have picked it up but then I don't know how everything works, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, whatever. But maybe if you might have been in more categories, I might sleep better at night. Yeah, man, like it's happening. Like I just felt like we just need an award show where it's just straight. You can see Kano, Gigs, Skepta, Gets, because they put out work this year. That's what you can see. And this is our community, and this is our people's award. That's how it really came about. It was just about trying to do something for the people, so that the kids that are kind of waking up and rapping and trying to achieve their goals through music and aspire to think, you know what, I could be on that platform sooner than you think because I've put out good work, quality music, and it's resonating in the streets of the UK. So I deserve to be on it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So just being a little bit more ahead of the curve and doing something for our people. That's how it came about.
Yeah, I'm a massive advocate for your company and the award show, and I think it's a big deal. As I told you before, I've probably got a few awards over the years, but there's not many I keep, and I keep that Grime Daily one here, and I'm really proud of that. You know what I mean? And I'm proud of you as well. So, Post, thanks for joining me. For this chat. You know what I mean? We're coming from the same place, and you know what I mean? Just want to, salute and say respect to you. And yeah, man, let's keep it going for many years.
Definitely, bro. Respect. Thanks for inspiring us over the years and everything that you've contributed to the culture. You've been very, very, very inspirational. Love the way you carry yourself as well. And thanks for all the gems along the years.
Nice one. Thank you. All right, well, we'll speak soon, man. Big up.
Take care, bro.
Peace.
Bless.